Hello, welcome to Quackalope. Thank you for being here. Today we're going to be doing a bit of an experiment of sorts. 5 videos, all of which will be fairly short and digestible, released over the next few hours on the channel, but 5 list videos of some of the most anticipated or requested style of videos here on the channel. We're going to be talking about best games I played of 2020, the best prototypes I played of 2020, my most anticipated games for next year, 5 games that I intend to play next year that I'm really hoping to get to the table, and probably the one you're all looking for, bringing back 5 games I was disappointed by here in 2020. Of course, this is the end of an era. A lot of stuff has happened during the course of this year. It has been an absolutely wild ride. And I am grateful for all of you who have stayed tuned and been part of this journey with us. So, stay connected to the channel. Keep paying attention for these videos to be released over the course of the day. And the main point of these videos is to engage in a conversation in the comments down below. I'll give you a little bit of an overview and insight into my thoughts on all the games I've selected, but I'd love to hear from you, the community. Do you agree? What are your personal lists? I will be spending most of today interacting and responding and engaging with you down there in the comment section, so let me know your thoughts. Along with that, another reason for these videos, or probably the biggest reason for these videos, is I'd like to end 2020. I'd like to go into 2021 with 21,000 subscribers, and we are currently 100 subscribers away from that mark. So if you haven't subscribed yet, because I think about 60 or 70% of our audience still watches but has not hit that subscribe button, do so. It's down below, completely free, and you can always unsubscribe later if you don't like what we're producing. And if you are a fan of what we do here, if you've appreciated what we've done over the course of 2020, share this video out with a gaming group, a friend, your community, or, just let one other person know that we're doing something cool here, and we like what we're doing. All that being said, this video is best games of 2020. Now, there are some caveats here. These are games that I played in 2020, right? So take that with a grain of salt, and because I'm doing my best prototype list, this does not include, none of these lists have repeat games on them, so also keep that in mind. The best games that I played this year are probably going to be a little bit surprising for you. I know as I was filling out this list, they were a bit surprising for myself. This has been an odd year for gaming, and I'm looking at my list here. Yeah, 3 of these 5 were actually played on TTS with the community over on Discord, link down below if you'd like to join and play some games, which is fascinating because TTS is 30% longer and 30% worse, so I cannot wait to get some of these games to the table in person alongside that online or that digital experience. Start off, we're going to be mentioning BloodRage. BloodRage by CMON. This is such a cool area control game, even though I didn't technically play it as a territory control or area control game. I played it as a drafting and accomplish your missions games. This has some of the most rewarding, crunchy, pressured drafting I've ever experienced in a board game, and I loved every second of it. The way those cards and abilities scale, the way your math or the equation you're working on to build out your personal deck, your personal character or tribe, in order to effectively conquer or hold or win battles or take off territory or position your minions to be crushed by meteors that are falling into Ragnarok. This game's cool. This game is so cool. So cool, in fact, that I am desperately searching for a full Kickstarter copy of it because it's one that just, I think, genuinely needs to be in my collection. This game surprised the heck out of me. It really genuinely did. I thought it would be interesting, but I just wasn't intrigued by the territory control nature of it. Little did I know that part isn't what's shown for me. The drafting of it, just so crunchy, so compelling, so weighty. Every decision you make has consequence. Number 2, Terraforming Mars by Stronghold. Terraforming Mars is going to be a game that you know, on this channel, I have avoided playing for the majority of this year, and then finally, due to a plethora of you saying, hey, Jesse, you really need to stop talking about Terraforming Mars until you've actually played it, and I agreed with you, so I figured I'd check it out, fully anticipating that I would be as apathetic about it as I expected that I would be, and I wasn't. Now, I did play it multiplayer on TTS. I did play it with the drafting phase and the Prelude expansion included. So, you know, keep in mind, I played it in about as good of a situation as you can. The Prelude expansion and the drafting phase are, as far as I can see, standards for the community. So the community did me right. They taught me how to play in the way that would be the best possible way to learn and experience Terraforming Mars, and boy were they right. I have wanted to continue playing that game ever since I sat down and played on TTS and then a solo game myself. It is one that I'm going to probably get to the channel here soon with full solo gameplay. I just really liked it. And again, this is going to be a drafting mechanic. I didn't know I liked drafting as much as I've discovered this year, and I do. When it's incorporated into a crunchy, thematic, visually stunning, well, not Terraforming Mars, I'm thinking BloodRage there. When it's incorporated into a crunchy, thematic, you know, game that rewards you for the cards you're picking, that gives a story, that tells a narrative while you're playing. And Terraforming Mars did that for me. I mean, I built a great, vast empire of trees across that landscape, dropped a nuke right next to a city, and slowly brought the ecosystem to life with birds and animals and horses and other forest creatures. I had a great time playing it, and I cannot highly recommend Terraforming Mars. You know, if this one's been intriguing you, if you like drafting, if you like tableau builders, if you like crunchy mechanics, if you want something to sink your teeth into a little bit and have a puzzle that's always shifting and adapting to your playstyle, I think this one does a great job. Great Western Trail by Eggerspiel. Yeah, I didn't expect to love this one. It's one of Jan's favorite games, and I think it is competing for my top 10 list, genuinely. The other two are excellent. I want to get them back to the table. They're probably easily top 25, but Great Western Trail, the rondel motion of this worker placement, this Euro-style game where you're moving up this pathway, building the different worker placement zones that you're interacting with, getting in each other's way slightly, but for the most part, avoiding hazards and shifting up this path to get a herd of cattle coming behind you that you can sell at market when you get to Kansas at the end of the trail, and then you start back at the very beginning again. It just worked. Everything about this game worked, and I wasn't expecting to love this game as much as I do. I have to figure out what it's shifting out of that top 10 list, but it's competing for it. It's probably one of the, if not the best Euro I've played this year. Next we have Tammany Hall. This is going to be by, well, if I could read my own, I've got it sitting right here. Oh yeah, Pandasaurus game. That's not what I mean, it's close to what I wrote down if you can read scribble. Tammany Hall. Why is this one on the list? I don't know that it is favorite game of all time. I don't even know that, I mean, it is certainly a good game, and I would bridge on the edge of it as a great game. It is a semi, not cooperative at all, but it is a bluffing and pressure game where you're doing your very best to secure votes in this city district, in the Tammany Hall area. You want to secure control over New York City. Rich and thematic, you assign roles to different players who are able to manipulate and change meeples and pawns over the board, and you strike deals and compromises and do everything you can that you would expect in a, you know, political intrigue game to happen on the board. And it just worked. I loved the 3-player debate and pressure mechanics. I cannot wait to play it at 4 and 5 because I think it's going to shine at those player counts, and it's one that was just not on my radar. But why is it here on this list, right? Because there's some other games that were competing for its spot, and here's why. Tammany Hall, ever since those first few times I've played it, has sat on my shelf as a game that I want to get off that shelf as quickly as possible again. It is always there in the list of, hey, what do you want to play today? We've got 3 to pick from. Root, Tammany Hall, you know, Everdell, Wingspan. Like, It's just there. It's just there as a game that I had a great experience with, and I'd love to play again. Sooner or later, we'll be bringing more content to the channel on it, but just know that that one is a real gem. And then finally, a game that I was scared of before I played it, but I backed the deluxe copy of it. This is going to be Bus by Splotter Games. What a cool route building and pick up and deliver-ish game. I mean, you're going to be building bus lines. You're each controlling different parts of this city district, trying to get people to where they need to go. You're controlling a worker placement area or an action selection area where you're going to be timing or putting down the different actions that you want to take over the course of your next turn, sort of programming the next steps that you're going to take, from recruiting new buses to spawning people to laying down rail to finally hoot hoot and moving your buses around the line. I believe it's Zoom. I believe that's the phrase. Splotter is always a company that I am paying attention to, that I am excited to see what they're going to put out, but I am intimidated as heck of their games. And Bus was lightweight. It was probably the lightest game with the most depth of mechanics that I've played all year. I loved that experience. I had such a good time playing it. Jan and I both are very sweet on this game now. And I'm glad that it's one that I now know well enough to invite other people to come play it with me. So, those are going to be the top 5 games I played this year. Let me know your thoughts. Did I surprise you with any of my picks? Do you agree with the entirety of my list? Or are there some things that you would maybe not include on yours? And let me know your top 5 games of 2020 down below. If I see a reoccurring pattern of a game that maybe I haven't experienced, it'll go on my list of, I need to try this one out in 2021. Either way, thank you for being here. Remember to hit that subscribe button down below. Let's cross 21,000 subscribers before the new year ends, or the new year starts, or whatever that phrase is. Whatever the case, whatever you do, remember to get out and play some games. Or remember to do, I can't believe I messed up my own ending. I'll be releasing 4 more videos today. Stay tuned, check out what we're putting out, and maybe in one of those I'll get my own ending correct.